Hello, my dear students. Once again, a very warm welcome to you all. In this lecture video, we will discuss about the second form of public sector enterprises, that is the statutory corporation. As you know that statutory corporations are public enterprises which are brought into existence by a special act of the Parliament. And this act defines the power, functions, rules, regulations of the statutory corporation which governs its employees and its relationship with government departments. Statutory corporations are those corporate body which are created by legislature with defined powers and functions. These are financially independent with a clear control over a specified area or a particular type of commercial activity. It is a corporate person and has the capacity of acting in its own name. They have the power of the government as well as the considerable amount of operating flexibility of private enterprises. So, statutory corporations are suitable for such enterprises which requires a huge amount of capital investment and which has to be run on the business line. It is very easy to identify which type of corporates are statutory corporations. While going through the video, you will find that various logos of companies, or you can say that logos of various companies are there in the slides. The first slide that is there on the cover, it is HEC. The next one that you are seeing just now, it is of LIC. HEC stands for Heavy Engineering Corporation, as well as LIC is for Life Insurance Corporation of India. When the company name has got the word corporation, you can easily identify or you can easily segregate them as the statutory corporations. And you will find more examples of statutory corporation in the whole lecture video. Watch it carefully. Now coming to the features of statutory corporations, as we discussed already, they are set up and governed under an act of parliament. They are wholly owned by the state. The government has the ultimate financial responsibility and has the power to appropriate its profit and also to bear the losses if any. Okay, and they are act just like an artificial person, and you know what does it means the artificial person means they have got the separate legal entity different from its member. They can own their own property, they can enter into the contract and file suits in its own name or so. Now let's discuss the next features. They are independently financed. They obtain funds by borrowing from the governments or from the public through revenues. Means they have an independent financial structure. They prepare their own budget and they have got their own authority to retain its earning and use them for the business. So we can say that they enjoy financial autonomy also. They don't get money from the central budget of the government, unlike railways. As we all know that railway budget is presented by the central government, by the railway minister. But in statutory corporations, government, they don't pass the budget for such corporation. They have to earn by themselves. You can take an example of HEC. HEC is making products for certain big projects in India, and they are earning their revenues from them only. So they are not subjected to the accounting and audit procedures applicable to government departments. The employees of statutory corporations are neither government nor civil servant and are also not governed by the government rules and regulations. They have their own set of rules and regulations at the time of recruiting or hiring or giving remuneration to their employees. Public accountability is a prominent characteristic of statutory corporations. Clear? One more example that you can see, that is of RBI, Reserve Bank of India. It is also an example of statutory corporation. Now, let's discuss what are the merits. The first one is they enjoy independence in their functioning and high degree of operational flexibility. They are free from undesirable government regulations and control. Yes, it is there because the government is not directly financing their operations and activities, so they are free from their clutch, that we can say. The funds do not come from the central budget. The government does not interfere in their financial matters. Basically, these 2 points are very similar in nature. Clear that you can say they have got the financial independence as well as they have got their operational freedom along with the flexibility. Clear. They are autonomous organization, means they have got the autonomous entity as they frame their own policies and procedures within the powers assigned to them by the act. Means they cannot do anything beyond the things matter given in that special act of parliament. They have got the power of the government combined with the initiative of a private enterprises. This makes statutory corporation different from others. They serve as a valuable instrument for economic development of the country. In this slide, you can see the two examples. The first one is FCI, Food Corporation of India, and the another one is AAI, Airports Authority of India. Even after having so much of merits, this form of organization also suffers from some serious drawbacks. They does not enjoy much operational flexibility. Many rules and regulations are there to control them. Yes, because they have to govern under the special act of parliament. Second one is government and political interference are always there. No doubt. In all the major decisions or where huge funds are involved, the government and political interference are there. They are not allowed to take the decision independently. Rampant corruptions exist. Very true. Wherever there is a dealing with public is involved in government enterprises or in public sector enterprises, we all know that how much corruptions that we have to face. And the last one is no freedom of entering into contracts and taking other decisions. No doubt we can say that delegation of authority has been done, but decentralization is not being followed here. They cannot enter into any of the contract or any of the deal without consulting or taking consent from the government, which further leads to the delay in action or delay in taking any of the decision. Now, one more example given in the slide, that is SBI, State Bank of India. Apart from these, there are many other examples of statutory corporations that you can search and write it in your notebook. Now we have come to the end of the statutory corporation. In this lecture video, you have studied about what are statutory corporations, what are its features, what are its merits, what are its limitations or demerits. In my next lecture video, we will discuss about the third form, that is government companies. In this slide, one example is already given, that is Coal India Limited. I hope things that I discussed with you today is clear to you all. We will meet in our next video. Till then, stay home, stay safe, and thank you all of you.